In this video, we'll look at display filters. The display filters allow us to take the packets that we've captured, the hundreds, thousands of packets that we captured, and filter through them looking for particular bits of information. There's many ways we can create display filters, and I'll show you some shortcuts that will help you to get a jump start how to create display filters. All right, so the first thing we'll do, I'm going to open up the prompt and I'm going to sudo sun, get myself a command prompt. I'll do if config here. Alrighty, let me minimize that. I'll open up another terminal. Clear this one out here. And in this one, I will run Wireshark. So this is the Jane account. I'll put Wireshark and put it in the background. And this is going to open up Wireshark. We're going to start a capture. Once again, we are not, there are no capture filters on here. We're just going to start a capture live in real time. Click this. I have to specify the interface. Click that. And you'll see we have nothing going on. And one of the reasons we don't have anything happening on our network is because of the IP address that we have. So let's go fix that. So right now, what I've done is put the Kali box on a virtual LAN with a Linux server acting as the NAT server, DHCP, DNS, pretty much doing everything for the box. I still have internet access, but I want to keep the traffic down as much as possible. So what I'll do is here is run the DH client, and I'll tell it to go, and you'll notice right in the background immediately we start getting some traffic. You can stop it right here. I'm going to pause, stop this. Now this is where we can use display filters to filter through the information that we're seeing. What this window that you see up on top here is the packet pane. That's where we have the many different packets that are coming in. So right now, if you look at this, we have a total of 15 packets captured. So down here, right down here, we have a total of 15 packets captured. Let me see if I can get my pen going here so I might make it a little bit easier. So right down here, we see the number of packets that we've captured. We see if any have been lost, and we haven't been losing. We don't have many packets to capture anyway. So here we have the packet pane, this one here. Let me just go like this. So right, this is the packet pane where we actually see all the different packets that we've captured. Below that is the packet detail pane, and that means when we highlight a packet, the details of that packet show up in the second pane down here. So that's the packet detail, and then below that we have the hex and ASCII dump of the packet itself. So the different fields in here, we can look through those and highlight them down here. And at the very bottom we have the status bar, and the status bar actually will help us create filters because we can highlight certain bits of information in a packet, and it will actually display what the filter would look like if we wanted to use it. So just like with the capture filters, one of the things you can do is click on this filter button over here, and there are already some filters that we have available. And we can use these filters, just like we did in the previous video on capture filters. We can use this and build it to what we want it to be. So for instance, it says UDP that isn't or not DNS, right? That's what it's looking for, any port that's not 53. Well, I could just say new to that, go down to the bottom, highlight that, change it to any port that's not 80, change it down here, and I have a completely new filter available for me to use. So that's one way you can do it. The other way that you can do it is you can use an expression. So if you click on this, it will open up information about the different protocols and field names that we can use, and then the relationship we can have between these different fields. And actually the best way you can learn the initial part of packet filtering or display filtering, I should say, is to go to help and look at it that way. So let's see if we can do a Control F here. Okay. There we go. So right in here we can see what the different operators mean. Equal, right? You can use the CC or the CC, the equal sign to equate to the word equal. And you can see an example of that right here. Not equal, put an exclamation in front of it. Greater than, lesser than or equal or greater than and equal. Both of those. So this help file is really good place to start out if you're very new to creating these type of filters. They have good examples in here, and they do a good job of really explaining how you use display filters. So the help is wonderful. Close that. In here we can go through here. We can just type. So I'll say TCP. TCP, I can come in here, I can open this up, I can look for acknowledgement numbers, is present, we'll say that one, we'll do that one, okay. And so what we get up here is the actual filter itself that we can use. The other thing we can do is just go into a packet and find one of the fields that we're interested in. So for instance, let's say we're in here and we want to find information about a particular IP. So that source IP. If you look down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, right down here, you'll see in parentheses is the filter that would entail. So I could search for that information based on that filter, and then just plugging in is equal to the IP. So let's go try that. So let's go out of here and we'll say IP, and you'll notice this is another thing. It has a basic command completion that we can use also. So IP source equals 10.100.0.254. And I can press that, and so now it's showing me only packets where the source was coming from the IP address of 10.100.0.254. I can clear out that, and I'll see all the packets again. And let's just put that back. Oh, by the way, that will now show up in the history. So I can click that. Whoops, I meant to click apply. Click apply. And right down here at the bottom, it shows that I have a total of 15 packets, and 6 are currently being displayed. So that's nice, knowing that that's going to show up here depending on the field that you're looking at. The other thing you can do with that is you can actually build a much more complex filter with that kind of information. So for instance, I could come in here and say, I want to see all BootP traffic, you know, with this information here about the client, and I can come up here and say prepare a filter. And if I click on selected, when I click on that, you'll notice that the filter is put into the display filter window or area, and I can keep building on that if I want to. So for instance, this MAC address, I can come up here and say prepare and selected, like that, and so it puts the 2 ampersand sign, so it must be this and this, correct? And then I can say apply here, and I'm down to 3 packets. So the ability to highlight something that you want and say prepare a filter. Now you can also select apply a filter if you'd like to, which will immediately apply whatever you have selected. So if I say selected in here, immediately it goes to, you want to see only UDP traffic, and once again we look down here, we see that 8 of the packets are UDP packets out of the total of 15 that we have. So that's a few ways you can actually build display filters. Once again, the help is excellent, and this is the display filters of what you're going to use for your assignment to filter out the information that we need about the devices. Next, we'll look at actually how this piece of software can be used to capture information and then rebuild that information.